A large proportion of the tactical attack missions flown in Vietnam were intended to disrupt supply along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. This was not one road, but a network, many of the routes passing through neighboring Laos. A number of techniques were adopted to try to stop the supplies getting through, especially the movement of trucks by night. But as was so often the case in Vietnam, the targets were elusive and ill-defined. Where the trail was restricted, in particular in areas such as the Mu Gai Pass, the problem was to deliver accurately bombs or rockets onto the narrow road itself, even with new smart weapons. In an effort to stop trucks at night, a completely new kind of attack airplane was invented. The result was the AC-47 Spooky, universally known as Puff the Magic Dragon. Outfitted with 3 minigun pods, all on pivoted mounts firing sideways and down to the left, each pod fired 7.62 millimeter rifle caliber ammunition at an average of 4,000 rounds per minute. Keeping in a steady banked turn, the gunship could pour fire into the target from all points of the compass. The idea seemed pretty effective, so after further experience with other gunship conversions, the Air Force contracted for a veritable battleship of the sky. The AC-130 was far bigger and heavier, and its engine power was roughly 8 times as great as the AC-47. Nothing like it had ever been seen before. It was, in a way, a high-tech counterpart of the ancient galleons, in that it had batteries of guns pointing out to the side, again to the left, so that they could be brought to bear in a left-hand turn. But the Herky-Bird gunship not only marked an advance in firepower, it also carried every possible form of night sensor, including radar, low-light TV, a laser, and perhaps most important, a sensitive infrared detector with which the crew could see a detailed thermal picture of everything on the ground below. As far as possible, the AC-130s kept above effective small arms range, but their own guns remained highly effective. The first version, the AC-130A, had 4 6-barrel 20mm and 4 7.62 miniguns. Soon the AC-130E arrived, with a pair of 40mm guns. These were versions of the famous Bofors gun, firing high-velocity 2-pounder shells loaded by hand in clips. The final AC-130H version replaced one of the 40s with a massive 105mm howitzer, one of the biggest guns ever routinely mounted in an airplane. In the war-torn Middle East, Israel Aircraft Industries, already familiar with the French-built Mirage, found itself trying to fill a gap caused by France's refusal to supply a batch of Mirages already paid for. The result, achieved in stages, was the Kafir, which is Hebrew for lion cub. The airframe is basically that of the Mirage 5, though the most obvious difference is the canard foreplanes mounted on the sides of the engine inlets. These were added in the C2 version, which has upgraded all Israeli avionics. Internally, The biggest change is the replacement of the French Attar engine by the more powerful American J-79, an engine first supplied to Israel with the F-4 Phantom. This enhances the Kfir's high flight performance, while the canard wings improve takeoff, landing, low-speed handling, and maneuverability at all speeds, especially with heavy weapons loads. Kfir can carry a diversity of weapon loads, and thanks to its canards, plus small strakes along the nose, modified wing leading edges and other improvements, it can combine heavy loads with good field performance and in-flight agility. Weapons can include Shafrir or Python air-to-air missiles and a wide range of smart laser-guided bombs, Mavericks, Shrike anti-radar missiles, and various anti-airfield dispensers and concrete dibbers for breaking up runways. Kfir has two internal 30mm cannons and has been combat proven in both the air-to-air and air-to-ground roles. A braking parachute is routinely used for landing. Another country with a small population but an important defense industry is Sweden. Her policy of strict neutrality has resulted in the famous Saab companies producing an unbroken succession of highly successful warplanes, of which the most powerful is the Viggen. Powered by a huge afterburning turbofan, the AJ-37 Attack Viggen is the first and most numerous of a variety of versions of this aircraft. From the start, Viggen was designed to operate away from vulnerable air bases, using instead short lengths of highway or roads and other pre-surveyed locations.